All they care about is how much money they're going to make. They don't care about Man United as a club or the people involved, the players, the managers, the fans, the history. They don't give a flying about it. So David De Gea has left Man United. Thank you very much, David De Gea. So let's kick off to see what is going on with Onana. Yes, let's do this. Okay, so let's kick things off with Onana. As I reported earlier this week, the deal is done and dusted despite what you're hearing in the mainstream media. Man United and Inter are completely chilled out about this. They're relaxed. They know it's a done deal. It's just a matter of signing the paperwork. They have reached a formal agreement in principle. It's just dealing with the small details that is now taking a bit of time, but it's nothing to worry about. It is a done deal, and Onana is very, very close to being announced as a Man United player once, of course, he's done his medical. There's nothing else complicated left. It's just simple formalities and then off to the medical. I told you in the last show, Inter needed to sell him. That's what the position of Inter Milan was. Onana wanted to join Man United, and there was very little in the way. My sources are telling me that the attention of the Man United transfer team is now completely off the Onana deal, and they're actually looking to secure HOJLUND. So HOJLUND is what they're actually working on. Onana is a done deal. They've done that. HOJLUND is the next player that they're actually working towards now. And again, HOJLUND is a very similar transfer to Onana. Atalanta really need the money and want to sell him. HOJLUND really wants to come to United and he's excited about playing with and under Ten Hag and really wants to join. So I can see this deal getting done really quickly. Also, the only thing on this deal is a price tag for this young talent. I think that is going to be the stumbling block in valuation. Atalanta value him at a higher price than what United would wish to pay for currently. There's also talk of Mason Greenwood in a swap deal with Atalanta and with HOJLUND. In my opinion, this would be a really good move for United and for Atalanta. Greenwood is a huge headache for the United management and they will get screwed either way. They're going to get slaughtered either way on the Greenwood issue, because if they sell him, fans will complain, and if they don't sell him, fans will complain. So for me, I think this is the best of both worlds. You're going to send him off to Atalanta, you're getting HOJLUND in return. It'll be an amazing swap deal if they can get this done. Let's hope they can get this done and dusted before the pre-season kicks off. From transfers in, let's move to transfers out. There's been much talk about United needing to sell players before they can start making more signings because of the FFP rules. United have had some players like Maguire, Fred and Sancho on huge contracts and salaries. And if they were to sell them, it would allow United to add the sale price and the contract value on to their transfer budget. Clearly, one of the biggest players on the transfer list is Harry Maguire for obvious reasons. Harry Maguire is not in Ten Hag's long-term plans and will not get much game time. He's on a huge salary, and his salary is the real problem. Maguire will not get this kind of salary at any other club. So Maguire is looking around and thinks, right, do I stick it out at Manchester United, see out my contract and continue getting paid this much salary, or do I move to another club where I'll get a lot more game time but my salary might half? And he clearly thinks that it's best to stay at Man United and see out his contract and get his salary at the rate that he's getting it at. I think this guy is going to become our new Phil Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our new Phil Jones in Harry Maguire. Yes, Harry Maguire looks like he's not going to leave Man United, and the only way he's going to leave is kicking and screaming. He doesn't want to leave because he's on a huge salary and he's going to stick it out. He'd rather sit on the bench than to go off and play somewhere else and get half his salary, which is really odd because he's at one hand saying, look, I'm a really good player, I'm one of the best, I'm the England captain, but yet he's not willing to move to another club and get game time. It's a difficult one because I think to myself, if I was in his position, I might do the same. So let me know in the comments below, do you think that you'd do the same? Would you stay on at Man United and just collect the salary? Would you move to another club and get game time and not care about the salary? Let me know your thoughts below. So other than these imminent signings, United will not be making any more signings and be going off to pre-season. Only after pre-season they might consider buying more players. There's Amrabat on the list as well, who people are talking about that he may come to United. They will, however, whilst on pre-season, be looking to offload all these players like Maguire, Fred, Sancho. So let's watch this space. I think there's still a lot of movement in the transfer window that will take place in the coming week. Moving on to the Manchester United takeover, nothing seems to have changed in the last couple of days since the statement released by Sir Jim Ratcliffe. As I said in my last show, in reaction to Sir Jim Ratcliffe's statement, where most fans were coming out saying that it was a losing speech by Jim Ratcliffe, I was completely opposite. I said to everyone, actually no, this does not sound like a losing speech to me. It sounds like a speech paving the way for him to become the new owner of Manchester United. I believe what he's trying to say in that statement to the fans and to the rest of the world is that he is in a better position than Sheikh Yassim and the Qataris, and he believes that he is going to go on to become the new owner of Manchester United. If he was losing, I believe he wouldn't have made any kind of statement. He would just sat back and watched it all happen. You wouldn't want to come and rock the boat if you are hearing that you're losing. But as soon as you feel that you're confident and you're in the winning position, I think that's when he's come out and made this statement, and he's doing more public speaking, wants to get out there and wants to get a head start in the whole takeover. But look, anything can happen. It's really fluid, this whole takeover. 1 minute it is Sheikh Yassim, the next minute it's Sir Jim Ratcliffe. It keeps on changing. Everything is very fluid. No one knows what is going on. What is clear from my sources is that the Glazers are split right down the middle. I brought the news to you a few weeks ago actually that Joel and Avram want to stay on at Manchester United and the other siblings want to sell and leave. The three other siblings, that is. The three other siblings who haven't had much input to Manchester United are the ones that are actually wanting to leave. Avram and Joel have been at the big games. You see them around. They're the most pictured at Manchester United, and they are the two that want to hold on to Manchester United and stay on. Hence why they are looking to approve the bid of Sir Jim Ratcliffe rather than Sheikh Yassim. The other siblings actually want out and actually prefer the Sheikh Yassim bid. So it's a 3-2 split. And this is why the sale has stalled. It's like the Glazers are waiting actually for the tensions to die down and the fans to just simply quieten down and the football and the signings to distract all the fans so that they can just simply slip under the radar and continue owning Manchester United, not to choose Sir Jim Ratcliffe, not to choose Sheikh Yassim, but to hold on and say, well, if the club is worth 6 billion right now, maybe in a couple of years we could even get 10 billion from somebody. So let's just wait and ride this wave out. Let's just see if we can make more money than we already are getting. But this is getting increasingly frustrating for me. I don't know about you, but I am actually losing it. Every time I hear a ping on my phone, I think to myself, maybe it's something about the takeover. It's unhealthy, I must admit, but I'm forgetting my own advice I gave to some Man United friends of mine, which is, we must all remember we are dealing with a different kind of species when we're dealing with the Glazers. They don't care about us common people. They don't care about how much we kick off. All they care about is how much money they're going to make. They don't care about Man United as a club or the people involved, the players, the managers, the fans, the history. They don't give a flying about it. What they care about is how much money they can get out to add to their already sickening amount of billions they already have. I remember watching a video on the background of the Glazers and hearing that their dad, Malcolm Glazer, who was the one who originally bought Manchester United, was described by a judge in a court case concerning a business takeover dispute as a snake dressed in sheep's clothing. A snake dressed in sheep's clothing. I guess the apple hasn't fallen far from the tree when it comes to the Glazer children either. Man United are in a very delicate position. We cannot predict what the Glazers are going to actually do, whether they're going to sell to Jim Ratcliffe or for whatever reason they're going to choose Sheikh Yassim. I am just praying that someone like the shareholders or someone else can stop them selling to Sir Jim Ratcliffe and staying on at Manchester United, because that is the biggest problem with all of this. I do not want the Glazers anywhere near Manchester United. I don't want them even near Manchester. I want them far away as possible, and if that means that Sheikh Yassim is the person who will do that. I want him in. I do not want Sir Jim Ratcliffe, because he's already come on record as saying that he gets on with the Glazers and in fact can see a situation where he will work with the Glazers running Manchester United. If that is the case, well, why the hell would we want Sir Jim Ratcliffe? I don't want him. He's going to bring in more debt. He's going to bring in more problems, more issues. He's been running Nice. Look, I keep saying it to you. I said it in my last show. If I turn up for an interview for a job and the interviewer asks me, right, what have you had experience doing this job before? And I said, yes, I have, but I screwed it up. I messed it up. I burnt the place down. Do you think I'll get that job? I will never get that job. The prospective employer would get me out of there as quick as possible. So why the hell would we give Sir Jim Ratcliffe another opportunity to screw up another club? He's already had the opportunity. He's been working with a club in France, Nice. He's not done anything with them. He's in fact made them worse. I liken this to giving David Moyes the job as manager at Man United. That is exactly what we're going to do here if we end up selling to Sir Jim Ratcliffe. But the problem is, the ball is not in our court, it's in the court of the Glazers. If it was up to the fans, I'm sure most fans would pick Sheikh Yassim because it makes complete and utter sense. The guy is bringing in more money, more capital, more investment for the club, for the infrastructure, and it gives us the ability to buy top players. But right now, from the transfers that we're getting in and everything else, it looks like this is a combination of Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the Glazers sitting down together and saying, right, okay, these are the players we can bring in and afford, let's bring them in. It's nowhere near what the Qataris would be doing right now. They, would be talking about Mbappe. They'd be talking about big players, bringing them to United as a show of intent. Anyway, guys, hit that like button and subscribe, and I will catch you later.